Shalom. All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem HaKakwadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and salute to the hope for the elect, pushing this word in truth and sincerity, hoping to receive mercy from Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Yahweh is the name of our Heavenly Father. That's who the world ignorantly calls God. Yahushai is the name of his only begotten Son. That's who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. You so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, and Latinos, we are the Israelites. That's according to the prophecies of the Holy Scriptures. So this is the brother Shamar from the GMS Jamaica camp, and our neighbor who knows see me in the highways and hedges, know what I'm about, know over the years that I'm a an Israelite, and I know my beliefs. There was the recent conflict between Israel and Iran, which sparked by Israel launching that preemptive strike. The person sought my opinion to what was my biblical interpretation. They was interested to know my take on it, seen as though or preach Bible prophecy. So I started to shed light, how the weak, the least of the flock shall drown him out, and started to tell him how Esau is the least of the flock, through Israel, that's going to draw out America. The neighbor was receptive to most of what I'm saying, but there was a point that he brought up, and I realized in his studies he's been misled to believe that the so-called white man is not Esau, but he's Japheth. So a lot of obviously the spirit is not working with him, and he's not able to see a lot of the prophecies because the Lord has set up stumbling blocks. Other people that he has learned from has taught him over the years that the so-called white man is Japheth. So that led me to do a lesson, just a brief lesson showing that the so-called white man, the Caucasian man, the cave dweller, right? Because that's what Caucasian means, from the Caucasus Mountains. It's not the so-called. Is not the white man is not Japheth, but he's Esau, man. He's the red man, right? So this is Genesis chapter 10, verse 1. Now these are the generations of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Right, so Japheth is one of the three sons. Right, Japheth is one of the three sons of Noah that survived the flood. Right, and unto them were sons born after the flood. So the sons of Japheth in verse 2, the sons of Japheth, Gomer, Magog, and Madai, and Javan, and Tubal, and Meshach, and Tiraz. And the sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz, Repath, and Togarmah. And the sons of Javan, Elisha, Tarshish, Kittim, and Dodanim. By these were the isles of the Gentiles divided in their lands, everyone after their tongue, after their family, in their nations. Now the point is that these descendants were divided into the isles, it says in verse 5. And when you look up the word isles, which I have right here in Genesis chapter 10, verse 5, it's the Hebrew word ayah. Let me see, isles. There it is. It means coast, island, shore, region. So these people, the sons of Japheth and Japheth, were divided into the isles, man. Right? So here's a very interesting fact. I'll play this short video and then I'll speak on it.
Where is American missionary John Chow's body?
In 2018, an American missionary named John Allen Chow attempted to make contact with the isolated Sentinelese tribe. Despite knowing the incredible risks, laws regulating contact, Chow persisted in his mission to interact with this untouched culture.
The island was off limits, protect outsiders and the tribe, which has no immunity to modern diseases. This morning, investigators are trying to figure out who else might have been involved in that fatal mission. Where is
laws regulating contact?
Right. So the image might not be clear, but these are very dark people. Now the point is, there's an American missionary that went to he sent went to the Sentinelese Island. When you look at the map, these islands are basically off the coast of India, close to Australasia, that side of the world. It's an island out there. But the point is, this tribe has been untouched over the years. Over the years, they haven't basically been colonized. So they have been living a very primitive lifestyle without contact to the outside world from other people. So basically, modern society has passed them by, and they're from a time gone by, right? As you can see, they're still using bows and arrows, very original type of living, right? So these islanders would be Japheth, according to the Bible. According to the Bible, by these were the isles of the Gentiles divided in their lands, and the list the sons of Noah that were divided out there, right? So Japheth would be an islander, man. Very dark people, right? Not like a so-called white man at all. So this is just proof right here that Japheth cannot be the so-called white man, man. Japheth, according to Genesis 10 verse 5, were divided into the isles, and this tribe haven't been touched over the years. So they serve as proof, and I believe the Lord has preserved them over the decades, over the centuries, to show us proof of what Japheth looks like. Right? Japheth are those islanders, man. So Japheth, so the so-called white man, it can't be Japheth. Right? And there's other reasons why the so-called white man, who is Esau, was said to be a cunning hunter. When you look up hunter, maybe I can do that real quick. When you look up the images of a hunter, you only see predominantly see one race of people. If I can get to type it here. Well, that Jake's last name is Hunter. But this is more a hunter, in their natural habitat, and you're always going to see the so-called white man being a hunter, because that is them in their natural spirit, man. But I really wanted to focus on this point. This is what Japheth looks like, man. The Sentinelese tribe shows what Japheth looks like. So the so-called white man cannot be Japheth, right? Like I know why that neighbor said the white man is Japheth, because when you read Genesis 10 verse 5, right, it mentions well, I'm not even going to pretend to speak for him, but the real point is the so-called white man cannot be Japheth, man. He's the islander, and this is a good, there you go, a very dark race of people, man. So this was a short lesson. I pray it was edifying. All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bashem Yoshai, Bashem Akakodas. Shalom to the elect.